Guideline 9. Create opportunities for the development of self-regulation.
Harness the power of emotions and motivation in learning. Just as it is important to design the external environment in such a way that it can support motivation and commitment, it is equally important to develop students' intrinsic abilities to regulate their emotions and motivations. The ability to self-regulate to strategically modulate one's emotional reactions or attitudes to be more effective in dealing with and engaging in the environment is a fundamental aspect of human development. While many individuals develop their self-regulatory skills on their own, through trial and error or by observing successful adults, many others have significant difficulty developing these skills. Unfortunately, the school does not deal with these skills in a specific way, leaving them as an implicit part of the educational program, often incomprehensible or non-existent for many. Teachers and organizations that specifically address self-regulation will be more successful in applying UDL principles through modeling and experimenting with a range of methods.
As with other types of learning, individual differences are more likely than uniformity.
A successful approach requires providing sufficient alternatives to support students who have very different attitudes and pre-existing experiences, to effectively manage their commitment and emotional involvement.
Promote expectations and convictions that optimize motivation. Identify personal goals that inspire confidence and a sense of mastery of learning. An important aspect of self-regulation is the personal knowledge that each student has of what they find motivating, both intrinsic and extrinsic.
To achieve this goal, students must be able to establish personal goals that can be realistically achieved, in addition to promoting the conviction of the possibility of achieving their goals.
In addition, students must be able to deal with frustration and avoid anxiety when they are struggling to achieve their goals. It is necessary to give students several options to help them stay motivated.
Tips. Provide suggestions, requests, instructions, indications, criteria, guides and checklists that refer to these aspects.
Self-regulation goals such as reducing the frequency of aggressive reactions in response to frustration. Increase the duration of work orientation in the face of distractions. Increase the frequency of self-reflection and self-reinforcement. Offer the opportunity to have trainers, tutors, or operators who stimulate the process of setting appropriate personal goals that take into account both strengths and weaknesses. Accompanying activities that encourage reflection on oneself and the identification of personal goals.
Increase personal management skills and strategies. Develop and manage healthy relationships and emotional interactions. Providing a self-regulation model is not sufficient for most students. They will need long-term learning involving the use of support tools.
Reminders, templates, checklists, and so on can help learners choose and experiment with an adaptive strategy to manage and direct their emotional responses to external events. For example, strategies to deal with social contexts that produce anxiety or to reduce distracting factors relevant to the task. But they can also help manage internal events, for example, strategies to reduce the rumination of depressive or anxiety-producing ideas. Such supports should provide sufficient alternatives to face the challenge of individual differences with regard to the type of strategies that could be successful and the autonomous ways in which they can be applied.
Tips.
Provide differentiated models, supports, and feedback to manage frustration. Require external emotional support. Develop internal controls and management skills. Manage subject-specific phobias and natural aptitude judgments appropriately. For example, how can I improve the areas in which I find difficulty? rather than "I'm not good at math." Use real-life situations or simulations to demonstrate coping skills.
Develop self-assessment and reflection. Increase awareness of progress toward goals and how to learn from mistakes. To develop better self-regulation skills, students must learn to monitor their emotions and their responsiveness with attention and precision. Individuals differ considerably in their ability and proclivity for metacognition, and some students will need a great deal of explicit instruction and training to learn how to do it successfully.
For many students, the mere recognition that they are making progress toward greater independence is highly motivating.
On the other hand, one of the key factors in students' loss of motivation is their inability to recognize their progress.
It is also important that students have more models and are supported by different forms of self-assessment, so that they can identify and choose the optimal ones. Tips.
Offer tools, supports, or graphics to help individuals learn to collect, track and visualize their behavior data in order to monitor changes in their way of acting.
Use activities that include means by which learners obtain feedback and have access to different tools, such as graphics, models, visualizations of feedback information, that favor the understanding of progress in a clear and immediate way.